My name is Kathleen Braden. I grew up in a very well-structured home. I had very good parents. I had two brothers and a sister. And when I turned 19, coming out of all the structure, I rebelled. I wanted to experience what I thought was life, what I thought was something I wanted. And I ended up going to drugs and going to what other people led me through. My journey started with meth, and then it went to marijuana, and then eventually it ended up with heroin and pills. I got pregnant when I was 21 with my son. I raised him until he was 4, but I went to prison for cultivating and growing marijuana, and my parents stepped in and adopted him. Got out when I was 26 and went right back into the drug use lifestyle, and it was just a downward spiral. My parents started rejecting me. They didn't accept me anymore. And coming from a good home, that's what hurt. I ended up getting put into West Care to prevent another prison stay, and that's where I met my daughter's father. We both graduated the program. We were both doing good. I got pregnant with my 8-year-old daughter. We had a good life. We had our little apartment and our car for about 3 years, and at the beginning of that 3 years, I was pregnant. I had my 5-year-old, her name's Evelyn. I had her when we first got our apartment, but he didn't believe she was his. He put it in my head that he didn't want her and she wasn't his, and if I brought her home, I couldn't come home. So I ended up putting her up for adoption because I was not gonna get rid of her. Since putting her up for adoption, we just moved on with our life. Me and him moved in together. Like I said, we got our car. We had our little family. I still seen Evelyn, but he didn't. I still see her to this day. They bring her back to see me. But at the end of that 3 years, meth became involved again. He ended up seeing somebody else. We lost our home, we lost our car, and then he ultimately left me and my daughter and abandoned us, and I was homeless on the streets. Being homeless was very lonely. It was a struggle. I woke up every morning with a blanket that somebody had donated to me from I don't know where. I'd usually leave whatever I had where I was because I didn't want to carry it. I never knew where I was going or where I was going to end up. I'd usually end up asking people for money to buy food, or I'd go wherever I thought I could get food. There was never really a knowing of where I was going to eat or how I was going to eat. And my goal was to get my daughter back. Like at that point, my goal was just to get her. I kept going back to places that were my home, places that I'd lived before, places that I felt comfortable, places that I could call home, and nobody would accept me anymore. During that time, there was a small voice telling me to go home, and that's what led me here. Because I knew that's a place where God was. The people there, I never knew them before in my life, but they were like family. They just accept you, you belong. And every time I got back to the mission, that voice stopped. Every time I got back to the mission, I knew I was home. Before I came to the mission, I was just alive. I was just doing what I had to do to survive. Without the mission, I don't know where I'd be. I'd still be homeless, drug addicted, childless, finding my worth and value in what other people thought of me or what other people expected out of me. Since coming here, I find my worth and my value in God. My daughter knows who God is now. My daughter don't have to look up to things that are materialistic that can be taken away, because she knows God is with her all the time. I know she's very thankful, and she thanks God every day that He brought her mom back to her. I've been here 7 months now, and me and my daughter, we're happy now. Like, we know we have family now. Like, even though they're not blood related, they're more family than my family is. My family is distant. They're not accepting of me changing because they don't believe it. But people here believe in me. They believe that a broken girl can change. They believe that I can be a mother. They helped me fight to get my daughter back. They helped me to see my worth and value in God and not in man. I have a family here and a home, and I'll have that for the rest of my life.